Today we want to tell you a story. We want to tell the story of moving from a learning center to a living campus, where our learning center freely move around. Once upon a time, we had to pay a visit to a specific place or building in order to gather information. Nowadays, information has gone digital. It has moved from one copy to multiple copies, from scarcity to abundance, from restricted access to open access. Information has gone mobile. Now students and researchers can access information on the road. The library foresaw that the role of the physical campus was going to change. The question we asked ourselves was, how can we bridge the digital and physical TU Delft campus in such a way that it adds value to learning and innovation? One night in February 2012, we sat together at a kitchen table. All of a sudden we saw the connection between several projects TU Delft was currently working on. We saw 5 focus points. The online campus with the desired bridge to the physical campus. Visibility and showcasing. How can we show what TU Delft is good at and working on? To the outside as well as to the in-crowd. Lifelong learning. What do learning spaces which inspire learning look like? How can we experiment with new forms of learning? How do we ensure that TU Delft constantly harbors state-of-the-art research and education facilities? Seduce and attract. How can we transform the campus into a place where people like to come because it's lively, attractive and fun? And last but not least, how can we encourage meeting and networking to foster serendipity and open innovation? The mind map we drew at that kitchen table was in fact the starting point for the program we now call Living Campus. And in March 2012 the library had a meeting with all TU Delft managing directors of the supporting services, introducing the concept Living Campus for the first time. We asked them their opinion about the transformation to a living campus. We let them walk around the campus with 3 different questions that different types of students might ask. So they strolled around the campus with these 3 questions, and we let them formulate assets as well as shortcomings our campus currently has. One of the questions that arose was, where does our campus begin? When an online campus open 24/7, this question isn't arbitrary. If you can convey a feeling of being there, value begins to add up. Because students can access information on the digital highway, they have become less dependent on a specific building to get information. So why should he or she be willing to walk the extra mile? Today's learners will be more susceptible to the felt learning opportunities the physical campus has to offer. We want to contribute to a blended learning space, online and physical, where ideas can swap, mingle, be combined, and new forms are created. It's the liquid network which fosters innovation and enables serendipity. We believe that both chance and change favor the connected mind. To our advantage, people are not digital yet. We cannot be binned up yet. So we need a road to travel, an infrastructure which gets us to places, to meet people, to work together. We believe it's our duty to add meaning to meeting. Otherwise, why would you walk the extra mile? That's why we asked ourselves the question, can we look at our buildings and learning spaces with new eyes and easily transform them and make them suitable for new forms of learning and meeting? How can we transform learning spaces into melting pots for ideas? To answer these questions, we walked around the campus for 2 whole days, made photos and interviewed students and teachers. According to the students, several spots could easily be reprogrammed for success. But before rushing into painting walls, we first decided we had to understand what made some places attractive for students. In order to identify criteria, we visited and photographed hot places and asked what makes students come there. We have identified 5 requirements which make these places so hot. Criteria for a spot being a hotspot are: it should be flexible, don't fix the place. Can we add something to the learning and meeting space? Can we personalize it? Users are very different, so personalization adds value. It should be attractive. Does it have daylight in the room? Is it clean? Does it smell fresh? Do people feel safe? Is intimacy possible? Is it available and accessible? Is it easy to get there? Can you get there by train, bus, bike, car? Do I have to take the stairs or can I take the elevator? Accessibility both in getting there as in moving around the campus and its buildings. It should be a place where people want to come to meet, a meeting point, because it's chill and hip. Who am I going to meet? It should have several facilities, like toilets nearby, a coffee corner around the corner, and it should have Wi-Fi, electricity, and light. The criteria are ready as a blueprint now. The color might alter along the way. We are, for example, developing personas for students. What type of students exist? What learning styles and types of learning spaces do they prefer? Perhaps this will lead to even more fine-tuned criteria. That's okay. We believe transformation is a constant in self-organizations. We have to change to stay the same. So what steps do we take next to get there? With the first version of criteria for hot places, we have to make choices. Will we make new hot places? Will we alter cold places? Where will we begin adding hardware? Simultaneously, we will develop a camping guide on an online campsite, which will be a living document, just as living as our campus. It will be a guide which will let students, faculty members and supporting staff rediscover new learning and meeting zones on their campus. It enables them to see the campus in a new perspective. Crossing the border from me to we is in fact a matter of change in perspective. That's how we want to add meaning to meeting. We hope to have elucidated our progress and plans concerning the Living Campus. We will seek cooperation with other stakeholders and projects to make it happen. We want to invite you to help us in creating a living campus.